Happy Wednesday, everybody. It's On the Clock with KBN, presented by the Lake Lodge, Grand Lake of the Cherokees. What's up, guys?
Not a whole lot.
Living life.
Living life. As always, Bad Brad Van Riet, the host of this show. I'm just along for the ride.
Co-host.
We are joined tonight by KBB owner-operator Drew Barnaby.
How's it going?
And one of our championship team anglers from Stockton, Chris Savoy. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
I will also say that he and his partner took, what was it, fourth at Melbourne this past weekend?
Yes.
Nice. Very cool. I'm
ready to go back to Stockton.
I think everybody is that fish Melbourne.
Yes.
I think your story said something about it fishing stingy.
We had 2 limits out of 25 teams.
September.
Yeah.
You're lucky you weren't fishing like 2 or 3 days on the same lake.
Oh, I would have gone home. Tournament's canceled.
Yeah, last year we had the state championship on Melbourne.
And Melbourne's been tough.
It was very, very tough. I think, Danny, didn't we get down to the point to make it to the Bass National Championship? It took one fish.
On the co-angler side, it took one fish.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Or no. So I had 3 keepers and I ended up like 10th. So
yeah, I think by the time you were going to be in the president's meetings and another guy had to drop out, I think we dropped down to where it was.
Oh yeah, you're right.
One fish.
One
So
keeper.
think about that for a minute. Anybody who's listening, you go to the state championship, and it's going to be at Grand this year. 3 anglers, three boaters, and 3 non-boaters not only are going to win money at the ramp, but they're also getting a direct berth to the Bass National Championship, which then puts you 1 tournament away from being in the Classic.
Same thing for the team series with the Kansas Buddy Bass. Ours is just a few days before the team championship at Grand, and same thing.
Yep. You guys make it to your national championship, and then again there'll be one come out of the team national championship, which is good. So while we're talking about the team national championship, we'll get to you, Chris. You're
good
in our mind because you actually catch fish. But so how many individual teams are we at now?
I knew you were going to ask that. I think it's 47 or 48. So we're almost to where we can have 2 teams qualify.
That's what I was thinking. Because all you got to, I'm assuming somebody pays an entry fee. They don't even have to show up.
Got it. Yep.
So
when can I expect the check from you?
Somebody'd have to donate, but I'm telling you that.
Shoot, after this last tournament, a lot of people donated.
So we'll see how close we get. We'll see how close we get, because there are some old folks that are sitting around that have kind of already kicked this around, that if we get within a boat or so for that last tournament, 2 or 3 guys could kick together and pay the entry fee, and because we're all still KBN members, we could get there. We'll hope we do it because guys actually are wanting to fish. But at that particular point,
we have 48 teams. so far.
Okay. So we're within 2 of being able to send two to the national championship.
I'll just go ahead and throw that graphic up there since Brad's just on it. Your next event, October 18th and 19th, Clinton on Saturday, Perry on Sunday. If somebody new wants to jackpot,
as long as they have the dues paid for KBN and Bass Nation, they're good to go.
Yeah.
I do want to clarify, because I've had a lot of questions about this. That is one tournament. It is combined weight. Take your weight from Saturday, weight from Sunday, add it together.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
It's not a 2-lake, 2-tournament event. It is 2 lakes, 1 tournament.
Okay.
Cool.
We used to do that with Kansas Buddy Bass. We'd fish one day Truman, one day the river at Lake of the Ozarks, and do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, and Clinton and Perry, I mean, I've never actually fished Clinton.
I haven't either. Not for bass.
Yeah, Perry's pretty big. Perry, you can put a nice sized tournament on Perry.
Yeah.
I mean,
I will say that I'm going to be posting here probably the end of this week, so I guess the next couple days, about some rules that people had questions about at Melbourne, as well as off limits for Clinton, because there's part of a national wildlife refuge that'll be off limits.
Oh, yeah.
And I just want to give people time, if they want to go there and practice, to know not to go back there during the tournament.
Yep.
Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out. What was it, Stockton?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. 25 years ago at Hillsdale, they moved a tournament from Perry to Hillsdale, and they moved it overnight.
Ooh.
So, and we showed up at Hillsdale, and the lake is like 10 foot high. Never been on Hillsdale. We can look out there, you can see sticks sticking up out of the water. And I'm asking guys that are from there, and I say, well, what about, it looks open. Can we go out this direction? He says, you can, but right there, that used to be a field. That's about 1.5 feet deep with whatever's out in the middle of it. Okay, well, we won't go that way. I said, what about through here? Well, yeah, but when you get about halfway across there, there's actually a great big dike that sticks way out into the lake right there. So you don't want to go that direction. Well, what about if we get up and go around this way? Oh, there's 2 coves up there that have bald eagles nesting. Don't go in there, but the buoys have all blown out.
And
we kicked down the trolling motor and just went nowhere.
So the last time I fished a tournament over at Clinton, I got a buddy of mine that's got a little, he called it the tin can, little aluminum boat. And of course, where I like to fish over there is up in the river. And we were out in his tin can and had the oar out and was trying to figure out how deep that main channel was. And it was about 18 inches deep.
Oh, Jesus.
But it, we marked a couple stumps where we could get through and made it up into the river. But yeah, it's
the things we do.
You're taking a chance getting up there.
Sean, real quick answer for you: there is no off limits for the grand, for the state championship.
As far as like timing, you mean?
Yeah, I think he means dead water off limits.
No,
not for Drews or the KBN state championship. Bradford?
Yes, sir.
Dig into this big victory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we're all just really wanting to know. And first of all, Chris, tell us a little bit something about your fishing background.
Wow.
How you started? How'd you start? Starting a club, or did you?
I started with the Pika Bass Club. Spent 1 year in there, and then decided to jump out and start going fishing red man tournaments. I've been tournament fishing since 1987. So, just fish some red man along with some buddy bass tournaments. Won a couple of state championships, couple of the jackpot buddy bass championships, Kansas team trail, and then just buddy bass too. So been fishing for a lot of years, a lot of lakes around here. I prefer Missouri lakes without a doubt. Probably Truman would probably be my home lake. If I was to call any lake my home lake, it'd be Truman. I'd rather drive 3 hours to go fish Truman than drive 15 minutes to go fish Perry.
Yeah.
But he's fishing Perry in a month.
Yes. Drew had his salesman hat on, and the money we want from Melbourne, he goes, I could just put you into Perry Clinton tournament. So, yep.
And then you can fish Grand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Grand. I fished Grand for 30 plus years down there, and man, I love Grand. Yeah, it's a fun lake.
Drew, where are you guys going out of?
Wolf Creek.
Wolf Creek. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So,
I'm excited. I've never been there.
never been to Grand?
I've never been to Grand.
Wow. Okay.
The best thing you can possibly do on a Sunday afternoon is put her up on plane and go flying towards the dam. And don't get out of it. Just keep going. Because though you won't see a boat, there's been a boat that's been by, and it's been a 25-footer, and it's put off 6-foot wakes, and you're going to fly.
I mean, that's like Lake of the Ozarks every time we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It is. Yeah. That late in the year it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, that's one of the advantages to fishing later on in the year. So
The one thing that being it is going to be that late in the year is you get a hard cold front come through, and you get a good northwest wind blowing. You're not going to want to make that run to the dam, because that stretch along Shangri-La from Sailboat Bridge to the south end of Shangri-La, that gets. The last time I fished there at Grand, it was actually a Toyota a couple of years ago, and we had about 45, 48 mile an hour winds coming down that chute right there. It was a little hairy.
yeah. In the early 90s, I had a Stratus, and it was an old tunnel hole. And once she got up and got to cooking, boy, she was just floating on air. And I caught a breeze, and I pulled a bona fide Miss Budweiser.
Oh, man.
I went probably 25 feet straight up in the air. The motor sounded like it was going to explode. In that split second, I was trying to figure out, should I push myself backwards out of the boat because the boat is making me want to feel backwards go out, or do I need to stay in it? And I stayed in it, and we came down and did 2 more crow hops, and then I just sat in the bottom of the boat with my buddy and shook. But,
How long
Was that on the way to your spot or on the way back?
that was on the way to the spot.
Did you end up fishing that day, or just?
Very, very close to where we came to a rest, because I just could not hardly make myself
You go
get
change his
back to
pants.
the motor. I couldn't do it. I was shook. So when you blasted off, Chris, what direction did you guys go? General part. What do you like?
We headed south.
South.
You can't
Drew,
really go anywhere
what-
else but south.
Drew, what are you laughing for, Drew?
Oh,
That's
you
a
put
very
in.
cop-out answer. We started
Yeah,
the very most northern part of Stockton, and we head south.
Yeah,
That's right. I was trying to think where we started at, because I was there 2 weeks later for a solo pro. So I was sitting there trying to think, okay, which direction, where did we start at in this one? So, yeah.
Which arm do you like?
I like the big sack arm.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I like the river fishing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little ways up there, but once you get above the what I call the Twin Bridges, whatever that is, that was where I preferred to fish, was way on up in there.
In practice, I'd went all the way up to Turnback.
Oh, had you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And were you like fishing points, dragging in the back of the coves?
We were fishing. We were fishing a lot of different things. We caught our fish anywhere from 3 foot of water to some deeper brush piles that were in about 25 foot of water. So it was quite a mix, just running around trying to fish, both shallow and deep. A lot of the fish probably came out in 6 to 10 foot of water. Fishing around the trees, I say since we're both river fishermen, we kind of like throwing at the targets. We're pretty target oriented. It pains me to just start throwing stuff right down a bare rock bank. So
cool. And best bait of the day?
Drew, tell them best bait of the day.
Hey, you guys won.
I thought because you guys always give me a hard time about it. It's brush hog.
A brush hog.
Yeah. Now our big fish did come out of like I said, one of the deeper brush piles, and it came on a bait that I'd had in a plastic bag for probably the last 25 years. Never had an opportunity to throw it around here. 12-inch man's jelly worm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a big old chunk of plastic.
Yeah, it is. Cool. And so I take it you were bait casting?
Yes.
Yeah.
No spinning rods were present in the boat the entire weekend.
That's good man. That's good man. Good man. Fairy wands. Nope. Pass on them.
I will say, John and I, had like a 30-minute flurry to start the day. Our first spot we wanted to go, granted, we're last boat. So our first spot had a boat on it. Second spot had a boat on it. So it's like, well, let's just start here. Drop the trolling motor. For about 30 minutes, it was every cast one of us was getting bit. I was throwing a jig, he was throwing a spinner bait, and they were all like 15 to 16-inch smallmouth. It was maybe the most fun I've ever had for 30 minutes. And then that was pretty much the end of our day.
Oh, man.
Hey, Chloe.
Hi, Chloe.
So what was the
He
big
always
bass?
finds me wherever I am and gets on the computer.
What was the big bass of the tournament? I don't remember.
Wasn't it? Oh, gosh. Riley, I'll look it up real quick.
I thought
I can't remember either. I think even that was still a pretty tough day. I think what was it, like around 3.5, 3 3/4, Drew?
Yeah, you guys got it with 332.
Okay.
Wow. And must have been on a brush hog then, right?
Oh.
No, that the big fish came on that 12-inch man's jelly worm.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Goofy.
That's Stockton and Palm. Those two lakes. It seems like a really big worm for some reason makes things
Funny
work.
thing is, I threw a worm most of the day and couldn't get bit. I wasn't throwing the jelly worm though.
Was not a jelly worm.
it wasn't a 25-year-old bait.
That's true.
Yeah.
See?
Makes you wonder after 25 years what kind of special seasoning it had.
Extra jelly.
Extra jelly. Oh, my.
Extra jelly. So who do you want to give a shout out to, Chris? Anybody special? Who influenced you?
When I started off tournament fishing, I didn't know anybody that that tournament fished already. So everything that I learned, everything that I know, I learned from just myself spending time on the water. My dad, when I was young, he took us up to a little pond up here, or little lake north of Topeka here. And, we had the Zebco 202s and we threw the man's jelly worm up in shallow logs up at the north end of this little lake. And, but that's pretty much it. The first year that I started, I thought, me and my buddy used to go farm pond fishing, watershed fishing all the time. I thought, I'm going to buy me a boat, go out and make some money. That's not how it works.
Never be another 4 day.
Especially back then, these kids that start off now have all the electronics and the tools available. Back then it was still flashers, and if you wanted to try and figure out where that brush pile was at, you had to triangulate with some things on the bank and up in the hills and what have you. But no, the first year getting down there on Truman and, not even catching a fish. And the next year started catching fish. Next year started cashing checks and just kept growing from there.
Back in the good old days, running 50 miles an hour down the lake while you've got the map out, trying to read the map to
You
figure
got
out
it.
where you're going and when you need to stop or turn.
Yep, that's exactly right too.
You'd
What's
have
that?
it folded to one section, and then between runs, while you're running, you're sitting on it and then pulling it out and looking at it.
Yeah. So some of the maps, I don't know if any of you guys are familiar with them, but some of the old structured graphics, the yellow maps that had the pages. Yeah, I've got, several of those, and some maps are even older than that. But some of them have shown quite a bit of wear.
I've never actually had the pleasure of fishing bull shoals, but an old friend of mine, I bump into him every once in a while. He grew up with Larry Nixon. And until just a few years ago, he and Larry would go fishing every year down on Bull Shoals. And Larry Nixon gave him a structure graphics for Bull Creek or something like that. And he had marked on there every single place that Larry caught fish. Still have that.
Wow.
30 years later, I doubt it's any good. But
Probably not.
I mean, not very many hot spots, I'm sure, left. But
everybody forgot about the hot spots from then.
Yeah, that's true. Well, the lakes have changed so much, also. I mean,
and that's it. You nailed it right there. The lakes have changed. I remember making some runs, way up the Osage. Getting into Galley Nipper and Turkey Creek and. Up the Sac and some of those little creeks up there, and even Deepwater Creek at Truman. Well, we used to run up through there. Where we used to run, now you can plant a 160-acre cornfield there. It's just it's crazy how these lakes have changed, and fishing has changed some as well. So yeah. Got to be able to adapt.
Yep. Which means that you probably run FFS, forward facing sonar.
Yes.
Do you? There you go.
I watched him use it to catch a fish on Sunday.
In other words, Drew was had the binoculars out and was eyeballing you.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
More like he was on the other side of the boat, the walkway.
Oh. Yeah, it's amazing how things have changed and how things are going to continue to change. I mean, I can remember the first 12-inch depth finder screen I ever saw. Then side scan came out, and then remember the controversy over the A-rig.
Yeah.
Couldn't throw the A-rig, still can't in some places. It's just it's amazing how things change. But yeah, oh well, it is what it is.
I will say, even though I use forward-facing sonar, and unless I'm on table rock, I'm too concerned about watching the fish come up and eat it. In our lakes around here, I use it more for, finding the stumps or finding that little patch of rocks that's laying down there. Or if you're in a big group of trees, you're in a cove that's got, 500 trees in it. You can identify the trees that the bait balls are sitting on. Or, you look down around the root ball and you can tell there's a lot of life going on down there. You can tell there's a lot of bluegills or perch down there and you see a lot of fish swimming around the roots. That gives you a pretty good clue. It's time to pitch something in there.
Yeah. With standard, you got to get right on top of the tree and look straight down it, and then go to the next one and the next one, and hope you're not bumping into the tree and spooking things off. And
right.
Yeah.
You can probably stop by for skate.
Yep. Well, I've just thrown my entire interview at you, and I got nothing else.
What's your partner doing tonight? Is it Toyota Series he's fishing?
Yes. Yeah. Casey's down fishing the Toyota Series. This is the last tournament. I know he had, this year's been a little tougher year. Last year, he started off really, really good. He had a good trip down at Kentucky Lake. But then his dad was diagnosed with cancer. So Casey took the rest of the year off to spend time with his dad and try and help take care of him. Then he passed away late last year. So, but yeah, this year's been much tougher on him this year. So, but him and I that was the first time we got to fish together this year with Stockton. So,
and now after Perry, you're going to be going to the championship on Grand, and maybe
I hope so. I'd love to get back down to Grand. Grand is a fun lake.
Yeah. Have they said where the championship is, Danny, Drew?
What was that?
Where's the Bass National Championship?
Oh,
Hartwell.
Hartwell. Okay. Cool. So, well, that is neat. You Drew, you want to throw anything else out right here at the end to get those last two teams to get signed up? I saw your post. You've got a whole bunch of teams that have been to 2.
Yeah, I think we're potentially could have up to 33 teams in the championship.
Wow.
If all those ones that were highlighted fish Clinton Perry.
Right.
So that could be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun, and if we can get those last 2 teams,
send 2
we
teams.
can get 2 to go to the national championship, and that'd be a heck of a cool deal.
That would be very cool. Chris, congratulations on the win. Thanks for coming on tonight.
You bet. Thanks. I appreciate it.
We are so polished and professional. Anybody that you want to, maybe a sponsor partner that you want to mention before we get out of here? Casey, he's part of the Z-Man team. So I want to give a shout out to both, Casey and Z-Man for their help. A lot of times we use their baits off and on throughout the year, all season. So yeah, definitely a shout out to Casey and Z-Man.
Cool. Drew, did you have any special sponsors at Melbourne?
No, not specifically for Melbourne. No.
Okay. Well, cool. We know that you got several of them, but One of them is going to be Lake Lodge
Yep.
at the championship.
Yep.
Cool. And they're like I said, they're sponsoring us here tonight. So
John and them have, I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but John has the absolute best tournament set up down there for the bass fishermen. It is an awesome setup.
I for a guy who traveled for 20 some years with bass and got to see all kinds of different possible setups and then got to build the one he wanted. I mean, he's got the stuff. And guys, if you're going to Grand, again, primo setup and John Stewart.
Yeah, and it's what, less than 5 minutes from the boat ramp?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, not very far.
And it's a half mile from Tomcat Corner smoked bologna sandwiches.
Oh yeah.
That is the most important thing.
You have to make Tomcat one of your stops when you're down there for sure.
Absolutely true.
Yeah. And if we're talking about the state championship, and I know we're over, guys that are out there and listening, if you can make the state championship this year, Grove is throwing $500 cash in extra. John is covering some of the expenses. He's also putting $500 into the big bass. I know that Russell Marine is putting some money in there. There's
Albers Marine.
There is. For the first time, and I don't know how long, the state championship is actually probably going to be worth quite a bit more than the actual entry fees.
Yeah.
Wow.
True. Yeah.
So it's a neat setup. And I know that John was very instrumental in trying to get all that set up, and we need to thank him. So, but
closing tonight, I had reached out to Sheldon and Thane, our winners from Melbourne, to have them come on, but of course Sheldon's guiding, and Thane was traveling or something tonight. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, if it works out that we can bring them on next month, we'll do that. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. Comment stuff below, and we'll circle back to it.
thank you, guys.
Very good.
Meow.